Hello ladies, I've got myself a cup of tea. Not that you can see what it says. I'd rather be drinking champagne. Hilarious. So get yourself a cup of tea, get yourself comfortable, and let's have a chat about miscarriage and all other things. Are you back? That's the main thing. So I just want to touch on the fact that Ida had two pregnancies, one at 19, 20, and then I had my second daughter at 26. Spent a lot of time then once, I'd met Liam, and we decided a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago, that we was both wanted to try for children, and I knew that health-wise, I was a healthy woman. I trained, I was eating very healthy. At the time, probably not. But, and I'm my age, late 30s. So things weren't 100% for me. When you read on things about pregnancy, women in the 30s and 40s, I have touched on it before. It's not, it reads pretty bad. But I just want to give you a little bit of confidence. If you are in your late 30s, early 40s, and you are looking to have children, your first or more, I can't stress enough how important it is to believe that this can happen, unless obviously you've got medical issues or medical problems, which that's a different route that you have to go down. But however, for me, I don't think my mind and my body was in a good place at the first miscarriage that I suffered, which was basically quite early on. I'd more or less just missed my period, and then next thing, I'd started bleeding within a couple of weeks. So it's very early on. I think you do bond with it, but I don't think you can get your head around it. The second one, I'd gone for a scan, and basically the baby had stopped growing at like 7 weeks, 6 weeks, and there was no heartbeat. I was absolutely devastated because I'd already had two children, so I knew just how exciting the whole process is. I knew just, what I was getting myself in for, but I felt so bad for Liam because I just kept thinking to myself, there's an age gap, there's 10 years between Liam and I, and am I ever going to be able to give him children? Is he ever going to experience what I've experienced, or hundreds of people out there experience when you bring your own life into the world? So anyway, we decided that we was going to leave it because my body had just had enough, I think, at that point. And over the years and years and years of training and dieting, I'd put my body through some extreme diets. My body fat was very low. It's not healthy. It's not maintainable, or it shouldn't be maintainable. It's bad on stress, it's bad on bones, it's everything. You might look amazing, but believe you me, you don't feel amazing. So I actually decided at that point that we'll just leave it. Never going to say never, but I needed to change a lot of things, I think, for me. So we moved. Not that that makes any difference, but we obviously moved for job purposes, and I think I just seemed to feel a lot better on myself. I was away from a lot of negativity. I'd started a university course, I'd started the life coaching course and CBT therapy, and I think that helped me a lot. And I don't know how some people feel about this, but I'm a massive believer in what you give out you get back, and I've read The Secret, I've read The Power, and I just feel, sorry, my battery's going down. And I just feel, for me, I needed to pull myself out of what had happened to me, not just in the miscarriage, but previous. I won't go into it because it's my past and I don't delve into it anymore. But I needed to get rid of that negativity. And I needed to move on from the miscarriages. I needed to basically write it all down, get rid of it, put it to bed, and move on. So we booked a holiday, and we went to the villa in Cyprus, and it was the best thing. I'd not had a holiday for years, absolutely years. I'd been on my own for so many years with the younger, with my two girls, and it was just like, God, I needed it. I needed this break, as we all bloody do. So we went on holiday, but previous to this holiday, I just wiped everything clean. I made sure all my diet was right. I got rid of everything that shouldn't have been in the fridge and in the freezer. Liam's diet's really good anyway. He's actually, 100 times better than me. And there's supposed to be 2 athletes living in this house. So there was just one for a long time, and it weren't me. So I just thought, right, that's it. And I'd get up, I'd go out walking, because where I live now, I literally live like in the middle of a field. We have got a cottage, and we sat in like 11 acres of land, and I just walked, and I cleaned my diet up. I stopped drinking wine. I just drank water constantly. Sorry about that, somebody had just called. Actually it was Liam, just nipped back for a cup of tea. But so I had to do that, and I read up on it, and read up, about keeping your insides healthy, and I changed my diet, and I trained all the time, and we went on holiday, and in the villa was self-catering, so we shopped. We didn't go out. We went out a couple of times, but we shopped. We bought healthy food, and I was due a period on holiday, so quite at the end of the holiday, and I think I'd said it before, I've never been one to like buy the ovulation kits. I tracked my at first my ovulation through how my body was, and like the little pains that you get either side, and or your mucus. Sorry. If there's any guys watching, probably not. It's a chat between the women, and I just found that I sort of could tell that my body was changing when I were ovulating, but I obviously I'd never sort of done the tests and worked it out, and I was never 100%. So what I did was, in the end, I just thought, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it and carry it on. Just in my life, because it was actually taking over my life, which I know some of you out there will probably feel the same. Every month you get your period, and you're just like, another month, and you're sort of wishing your life away, rather than thinking, right, it's time to get a grip of yourself, get out there and bloody enjoy yourself, because that's what we're here for. And when you are ready to think to yourself, right, I need to go to my doctors because this is not happening, then do that. But the process of it, you've got to sort of take your head out of your backside a little bit, and think to yourself that you've got this loving partner there, and you're both going through the same thing. Although you feel it's because it's happening to you, I felt a little bit of a failure every time I did come on my period, and in the end I just thought, oh my God, Emma, like, this is ridiculous. Like, you're a healthy woman. It will happen. So I'd gone on holiday, as I said, and I was due my period on holiday. So the last week of the holiday, I'd come on, but I'm always ever 28 days, and then I have a very light period. I've never been a person that has really heavy periods, so I'm quite lucky. in that respect. But I do think that is down to training. I do actually think that is down to training, but I mean, I could be wrong. People will probably tell me I'm wrong on that. So anyway, we'd come back back end of August, and I missed my September period. So I'd gone, obviously, panic sets in then, thinking, am I in early menopause? Love, you're getting old, you're 40, are you in early menopause? But I sort of knew. So I'd done a test, I'd come home from work, I'd done a test, and I'd left it on the landing and walked away from it, because I didn't actually want to look at it, because I didn't want to look and be disappointed if it was negative. And then I knew, obviously, there was something that wasn't right. Totally miss a period. And I was so good, ladies. I left it the whole period, and it killed me. Absolutely killed me. You miss your first day, you think, God, I'm dying to do a test, but I didn't. I was really good. And I left it on the landing, and I sent Liam up. So one thing that I think is special for me is the fact that he found out before me. Even though I missed the period, he was the one that said, you know, we're pregnant. And as you do, you keep your test, and I think it's faded a little bit now, but I was a mess for the first 12 week. Not a mess, that's like a ridiculous word. I was scared. And I'd had at 7 week, well, I thought I was 6 week, which would have meant I would have had a week block, a week between the period and my ovulation, which is still very early. And I'd had a little bit of a bleed. I'd felt horrendous. For some reason, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I was ill. I was like ill the next day. I was like, that was it. I was poorly. I was, morning sickness had hit me. You're pregnant, that's it, get to bed. And that's how it was. And Liam would be like, you're like, this is ridiculous. Stop being so pathetic. You know, but actually that's how it was. And I had no symptoms. My boobs have not hurt at all. I don't wee loads, so don't panic if you're not, you know, weeing a lot, because I didn't. I wasn't running to the toilet. I wasn't physically sick. I just felt like I was coming down with flu all the time. But yeah, going back to that, I had a little bit of a bleed at 6 weeks, like literally a wipe. It wasn't like a bit of a running blood. So we went in, she took my bloods, and she said to me, we're going to scan you, because your HCG levels are absolutely sky high. And the only reason why sometimes these come out like this is obviously your baby's really well developing, or you're having twins, which my face must have been a picture at that point. Liam was absolutely beaming from ear to ear, and I was like, knowing what it's like to deal with your first child and your second child. Imagine two at the same time. Oh my God, I'd be bald. So anyway, there was one, and I was actually a week in front, which meant I had ovulated straight after my period. Straight after. And so it was like a shock to me, because I'm thinking, God, you're 12 days in and this, and I thought, I've been bloody missing it all this time. And anyway, yeah, it were there, the heartbeat were there, and that's all I was bothered about. That's all, the last scan we had, and every scan I've been to, it scared me. It has scared me, but I think that does anyway. I think because you read so much bad stuff that bloody, you know, your 40-year-old really should be wandering around with a Zimmer frame, not carrying more children. That's how it reads. Well, it's not like that, ladies. It really isn't like that. But I'm not only here just banging on about, you know, 40-year-old women and this and that. I'm here to say to you, I think the reason why I fell pregnant and had a very successful pregnancy, touch wood, so far, is my diet. I changed my diet. I changed my mindset. Which helped our relationship and then it happened. It happened that way, and you know, I have had, you know, a good 3.5 months worth of knowing that this baby was definitely on board. But I prayed that the next time I got pregnant, I had every symptom going, so that I knew every day that this baby was going to be okay. So I'm saying to you, it is possible. Change your mindset, change the way that you diet or you approach your diet, and get your head out your backside and realise that this life is here for you as well and your partner, and start enjoying yourselves together. You are not letting anybody down by, you know, suffering miscarriages or anything like that. You aren't. You aren't letting anybody down. You're not letting yourself down either. So cheers to that. My cup of tea's probably freezing, but I will happily drink it. And here's to a successful pregnancy, and hopefully you'll let me know, give me your feedback on it, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care, love. Bye.